Baba is asking us to be soul conscious. And Baba says that when we are soul conscious, then vicious thoughts fly away. And we have yoga with Baba and we become Sato Pradhan. Now, there is a connection between consciousness, attitude, vision, and action. And action begins with thought. So, first there is consciousness. If we simply define consciousness, consciousness is your sense of who you are, or who is in front of you, or what is going on, yes, or who do you belong to. So all of these are aspects of consciousness. So every person has a certain stage of consciousness, and you have your own answers to these questions about who are you, who is the person in front of you, or what matters to you, or who do you belong to, or what is generally going on, and what is your aim. So these are questions about consciousness. Now you see that before Gyan, we used to answer these questions differently. For example, if somebody asked, who are you? Then you would say, I'm a wife to somebody, or husband to somebody, or I'm this person's child, or I'm this person's sibling. So this is how you think of yourself, or you define yourself by a profession. I'm a doctor, or a teacher, or a homemaker, or something. And then Baba says that how you define yourself, how you see yourself, has a bearing on how you see others and how you see what's going on. And then your thoughts, your behaviors are a product of that. For example, if I think I am a mother and then something is happening to the one I think is my child, then obviously I will be very shaken up. So my thoughts will be that of chaos and disturbance and unrest. So when Baba comes, Baba tells us, Baba gives us the knowledge about the true self, the nature of everything around us. And Baba asks us to practice this soul consciousness, because our consciousness has shifted from soul conscious to body conscious in the last 63 births. And in order to go back to being soul conscious, we need to practice. We need to see everything with new vision. Yes, now I'll tell you one thing. So there's this Mata, and she called me yesterday and she was telling me that I'm feeling very bad because I have only one brother, and I loved that brother very deeply, and now that brother is married and he doesn't talk to me, and he doesn't show his concern for me, and I feel like I'm all alone. So why do people change? So I said, I don't have a, so I said, the questions that you're asking are coming from a wrong place. Let us recalibrate your questions. So the question is not why do people change, because change is the only constant. But the question is, why do you get affected by that change? You get affected because you think that's your brother, and there is some some inherent and natural alignment between your journey and his journey. So, people think that when the biggest, I think the biggest illusion is this blood relation. So, we think that, this is blood relation, and then they say blood is thicker than water and stuff like that. But there is actually no blood relation. You are a soul, that person is a soul, and you are on your own separate journeys. And because of this whole garbage of this blood relation thing that's fed into us, there is so much of disappointment and so much of feeling of sorrow that you carry. So I think, the biggest reason why we take so much sorrow is this whole illusion of this garbage of this blood relation being fed into us. But the thing is, there is nothing like blood relation. You are a soul, and that other person is a soul, and there is absolutely no coherence between your journey and their journey. And there is a destiny, and according to that destiny or that drama plan, you're meant to walk the path together for some time and then separate. So that's how it is designed. And when you're walking together, be grateful that you have some cooperation. But when you part ways, then you shouldn't complain, because that's how it's supposed to be. And in my experience, in this whole design of the drama, you always have some co-actors who have their part, although very limited, with you to play. So you always have, you always play your part with another set of actors in the drama. And depending on the script of the drama, you play your part with them for some time. Maybe it could be a time of 2 minutes, 2 hours, 2 days, 2 years, or whatever. So it is according to the destiny. And then when the time is over, then any simple reason comes up, and then that part you don't play together anymore. But that's how it is designed to be. And why we suffer is not because how it is meant to be, but because how you suppose it's meant to be. And that suppose is an aspect of the consciousness. And when we come into Ravan Rajya, then all this thing about, this is mine, this is blood relation, that is other relation, and then this is relationship, that is relationship. Now, what is a relationship? I think about these things very much. So you see that when we talk about relationships, so there is only one kind of relationship which exists, which is the relationship of a soul with a soul, which is a brotherly relationship, which Baba teaches us to have. And in that relationship, there is a natural sense of, that there's a natural sense of giving, in which there is care, there is good wishes, and there is the hope and the faith that, this person should grow and have everything good in life. So that sense of, good wishes and good feelings, and that sense of upliftment and encouragement and care that you extend to the other person, that irrespective of who they are or what's their sanskar, that's an aspect of spiritual relationship. And it has got nothing to do with the other person. It's got everything to do with your relationship with Baba. And spiritual relationship of a soul to another soul as a brother is an extension of the soul's relationship with Baba. And when you have a very good relationship with Baba, then you care for all Baba's children, because they are your brothers by virtue of you being Baba's child. So it's a very indirect relationship. And in that relationship, you have this sense of love and care that you extend to every soul. and your heart is full of good wishes and good feelings for every soul, and you want every soul to, grow and do better. So that is one relationship that exists. Apart from that, there are various varieties of illusions of relationships that exist. And if you look at it, I don't know how it started. I really don't know what was its form in the Copper Age or something, but right now it's absolutely self-centered. So, when you talk about this person is your mother and father and child and brother and sister and spouse and children, then basically when you say this, then there is an unwritten contract of give and take which you are setting for two of you. So, when you say this is my brother, my dear brother, then what are you saying? You're saying that we are bound by some invisible, unwritten contract wherein I will invest this much in this person and this person will give it back to me. But the thing is, no such contract exists, and every person will do as they are capable of doing. And then what happens is, in your head, you have a contract going, and you think that according to that unwritten contract, your expectation that this person should behave like this is 100% correct. And because your expectation is correct, then you are very justified in feeling all the pain and hurt and sorrow and disappointed and betrayal that you're feeling. But the thing is, there is no such contract and nobody ever signed that contract, and whatever you're feeling because of what you thought in your head. And people say that I was betrayed by this person, I was betrayed by that person. And then people always say that I had always a big heart and I was into that relationship with all my heart, and that this person was not in that relationship with all their heart. But if you were so altruistic and so giving, then why are you complaining today? So people say that whatever I did was unconditional, but if that was unconditional, then why is there so much pain in your heart today when it was not requited? So the thing is, we are all playing this, this game in Ravan Rajya, where you pretend to give unconditionally, and then you hold the other person accountable when they are not giving it back to you. But if you look at it deeply, it is all a very selfish and very, very about you when you are entering into a relationship. And that is why when your desire, your selfishness is not fulfilled, then you don't shy away from speaking badly about that person, or you don't shy away from giving negative energy to that person, or even cursing them with your mouth. So what kind of relationship is this? So Baba says, so what I have understood until now is, we are all pretending to have relationships, but every person is just covering their selfishness under the guise of relationships. And people who say that we have been very selfless are roaming around with a lot of hurt. But the thing is, if you're so selfless, then why are you hurt? And if you are hurt, that means you had your own selfish interests which didn't get fulfilled. So then if you are selfish and the other person is selfish, then how do you have the right to call out that person? So if you are also selfish and that other person is also selfish, so the only thing why you're hurt is they were more smart than you. So They cheated you first. That's the thing. But the thing is, everybody is selfish and everybody is entering into relationships with this idea of, I want to get this from this relationship. And when the other person takes it more than you and gives you less, then you feel cheated. But the thing is, it was never unconditional, it was always selfish. And Baba says, as is the seed, so is the fruit. If the basis of your relationship is selfish interest, then you are not going to get very good, you're not going to get love and happiness in that relationship. If the seed is so rotten, then obviously what you will get in the relationship has to be peacelessness and sorrow and betrayal. But we don't understand that, I'm not saying that we do this on purpose, but it's just how we are conditioned to be. And the most beautiful thing about Ravan is, Ravan convinces you that you're vicious and a very good person. So Ravan tells you that, you are selfish and you have attachment and you have expectations, and then you feel hurt and then you curse somebody and then you feel bad and you say that, this person should learn a lesson, and then you're giving all your negative energy, and still you're a very good person because you did everything right. So that's Ravan. But Baba makes us see all this hypocrisy in us, and Baba says that there is nothing like a blood relation or a professional relation or a personal relation. There is nothing like that. There is only one kind of relationship that exists, that is a spiritual relationship. And a spiritual relationship with souls is not a direct relationship. It is an extended relationship which is extended by virtue of your relationship with Baba. So if you have a very good relationship with Baba and you're always full, then you will have a spiritual brotherly relationship with every soul, irrespective of blood or no blood, or personal or not personal, professional or not professional. You will have that drishti, that vision that this is a brother soul. And Baba says that our selfishness takes many forms. So I think the basic vice is selfishness. So when you are we begin from the golden age, and by the time we reach the end of the silver age, we are half empty. So when we enter the copper age, we are half empty, half full. So in that state, we are very needy. And from that neediness, so when we are empty, we are needy, we try to take our juice and sustenance from everyone around us. And whether it is nature or whether it is souls, and you're just trying to, suck all the energy out of them and fill yourself. And that takes many forms. That takes the form of lust, ego, attachment, greed. And these are all forms of various manifestations of your neediness. And then Baba says that when your consciousness is, I am needy and this person is food, or this thing is food for me. So when you are needy, then everything becomes food for you. And then you take one kind of taste from someone and another kind of taste from something. So you are consuming people in the form of relationships and things in the form of your needs, and then in that whole consumption, which we label as lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, you keep falling, but you never realize that if your stomach is not getting full, then this is not the right food for you. But we keep doing that. So Baba says that when you have this vision that I am body, when you're body conscious, when you're needy, then obviously everything is food for you. And that is the source of viciousness. So, that is when you start looking at other people's bodies as, your method to entertain yourself and have sensual pleasure through their bodies, or you start seeing others as your agent of emotional fulfillment, or your source of fulfilling your greed, or your source of, ego boost. So somebody should keep boosting your ego, or somebody should keep fulfilling your emotional needs, or your financial needs, or your sensual and sexual needs. So Baba says this is how all the vices begin. So when you start looking at yourself as a soul, as not a needy body conscious state, you uplift yourself from a needy body conscious state to a full soul conscious state. So when you start remembering Baba and start seeing yourself as Baba's child, and you realize the completeness and the fullness that you have within, then you stop having this needy approach. And then there is no need to insult anybody to feed your ego. Then there is no need to, devour somebody's body to fulfill your sensual desire for pleasure, or you don't have the need to, steal from somebody, loot from somebody, or pull somebody down to satisfy your greed. So when the neediness stops, the vices stop. So Baba says when you become soul conscious, then when you're full from inside, there is no neediness outside, and then these vices will not attack you, and you will still have relationships, but those relationships will not be that of a victim and a predator. That relationship will be of a brother's soul to a brother's soul, where there is love and respect, and irrespective of who they are, or what are their sanskars, or what they do or not do, you don't have any business with that. You are always loveful and respectful. So that is what Baba means when he says that practice being soul conscious. And in my journey, of course it takes a lot of time. It's not a one day thing, or not a 1 year or a 10-year thing. It takes a lot of time, but I have slowly, gradually realized that actually every soul is different. And I have been hearing this for very long, that no two souls are the same, and no two sanskars are the same, and they are right according to themselves, and you are right according to you. And we hear these things, but I don't know whether we really realize it. But somewhere in my journey, I started realizing this. And do you understand that if somebody felt that I'm doing something wrong, then they would do it, but they would hide it. But people are being themselves in front of everybody. So they are just being themselves, and they are not. So when somebody is able to be who they are in front of 20 people, that means that they don't find anything wrong with themselves. Yes, if somebody can, I was there with, I was in a family setting, and there was this person who just kicked his son. He just kicked his son with his leg. And when he did that, half of the room, they were looking at that person like he did something wrong, and the other half felt that it's okay for a dad to kick his son, and they were okay going about their business, and they had no problem with that scene. And I was just thinking that in his head, this person thinks that he's not doing anything wrong. That's why he's able to kick his son in front of 20 people. Otherwise, he would not do it in front of so many people. And then he said that, we in Hindi say लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. So he said that this person deserves to be kicked, otherwise he won't understand. And that was it. So how can you show your perspective to somebody who doesn't see anything wrong with their perspective? So can you try to show your perspective to someone who doesn't even check their perspective? And if they don't come to that place in their drama where they check their perspective, then even if you give your perspective to them, it doesn't matter, because they are not appreciating it, because they are okay with what they are thinking and doing, and they think it's right. And I remember there was this one Kanya in a center, and this Kanya would just, I think, in the center, you see, mostly sisters are working for what, 18 hours? So 18 hours at least you're working, because either it's Thul Seva, or, it's Seva of, giving the courses or classes. And this Kanya would just sleep for at least, I think, 15 hours. And in the center, she would sleep for 15 hours. And then, one day she was telling me that all the people in the center are very bad because they think that she's lazy. And I said, so are you not lazy? How many hours do you sleep? So she said, I just sleep a little in the morning, a little in the afternoon, and a little at night, not much. And these people have a problem with my sleeping and they call me lazy. So I said, okay, so so don't you think that your contribution is less? So she says, no, every day I clean the slab of the kitchen, and I, mop the utensils dry, and then I keep them back. And every day I do this. So in her head, she's working for half an hour, and that's more than enough. And she thinks that, I'm giving my contribution, and what am I not doing? And she told me one sentence. She said, ab jaan de de kya? She's saying ki now should I die for everybody? So when I looked at her, I understood that she's not wrong in her head. And when she doesn't think she's wrong, how can I make her see that whatever she's doing is not enough? So I thought that, maybe I have to wait for the drama to unfold, and, for maybe, when she listens to Murlis more, then her intellect will start working or whatever. But this is not the time. So then she said, now you tell me, what wrong am I doing? So I said, no, there's nothing wrong. So it's okay. So you see that you have to, so in their head, everybody is right. And when you look at this, and there is this term called self-righteousness, and viciousness and self-righteousness are going hand in hand. And the more vicious you are, the more self-righteous you feel, because in your head you have to justify your wrongdoing so many times that you start believing in it. And this is why Baba says that you have to be so, and when you are with any soul, there are very huge chances that their vibrations and their sanskars start having a toll on you. So it's very important that you safeguard yourself by you being soul conscious. And you have to just know that I'm a soul. I don't have any expectations. I don't have any needs. I don't have any, any desires, and I'm not here to quench my thirst from any soul or any situation or anything. And when you operate from this fullness, then your vices, whether it is judgment or whether it is ego or whether it is, lust or anger, in the face of angry souls or, souls under the influence of vices, they don't get triggered. So even if somebody is 10 times saying they are right, you don't have the tendency or the pull to say, I am right, not you. And you have to refrain from that pull. And that will be only possible if you're soul conscious. And Baba says, pay very good attention to your soul consciousness and just accept everybody as they are, because in the drama, everybody is being themselves and they are designed to be who they are, and they are very right in their head, and they are going about doing what they feel is right for them to do. And if they have any idea and any realization that they want to change, then they will find you and they will come to you and they will try to understand things from you. And you keep doing your seva for those who are interested in, those who realize their faults and they want to get better. You do your seva for them. But otherwise, when you operate in the world, you have to be very careful that you don't have any expectations, any desires, and anybody being any way doesn't disturb you, upset you, because you have absolutely no expectation for anybody to be any way. So this is being soul conscious, and this is very necessary for you to be vices free. And then Baba says, when you're soul conscious, obviously you understand that your only needs are knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, power, and your only source is Baba. So you have a lot of good yoga with Baba, because you realize that your only provider is Baba. And when you have good yoga with Baba, slowly, gradually, you become Sato Pradhan. So Baba tells us to have soul conscious vision for ourselves and soul conscious vision for others. And then there is this slogan today that when you say mine, you make a small thing very big, and when you say yours, then you make a big thing very small. Yes, because when you say mine, then in this drama, this is Kali Yuga end, and there are very big things coming. And when you are alone without Baba, then it will become very difficult for you to deal with anything and everything. Yes, because without Baba, you're nothing. So Baba says, when you say mine, means you're alone. You're not with Baba. So when you are saying mine, you're alone, not with Baba, then everything is a big problem. Even dealing with your own mind is a big problem. But when you are with Baba, then you say yours. And when you're with Baba, then everything is a small problem to have. And I remember, there's a story in Islam. And in Islam, they say that Muhammad was once going on a, just walking through a jungle. And when he was walking through that jungle, then it was time for his namaz. So he just, he just started having his namaz prayer in the midst of the jungle. Then there was a fellow who was accompanying him. He said, are you not scared? There are lions and tigers out there and bears and whatnot out there, and now you will just spread your sheet and have namaz here. So he said, no, I'm not scared of anything. And he did that. And then he was walking further, and there was a mosquito who was circling him. And then he became very desperate to, push away that mosquito. And then that fellow asked again, now you are afraid of a mosquito, and at that time you were not afraid of a lion. So what is this thing with you? So he said, at that time I was with God, so no lion could kill me, but now I'm on my own. So, so a mosquito can cause danger to me. Now, the thing is, in bhakti, you are with God only when you're praying, or it's Tuesday or Saturday or whatever. So, some days, some timings of the day, you're with God. But Baba says, now you're with Baba all the time. And you can be, if you are soul conscious, then you can be with Baba all the time. And then everything is a small thing for you when you're with Baba, and everything is a big thing for you when you're on your own. So don't be on your own. Baba always says, don't put your foot down from the swing of soul consciousness. So when you come down from the swing of soul consciousness, then all the animals down there will come and eat you. So Baba says, just be there, soul conscious in remembrance of Baba, and then you and Baba together are enough to deal with anything in the world. Okay, Om Shanti.